Hollywood has a habit of hiring back people that lose them money, either for nepotism or for ideological reasons, seemingly without ever stopping to ask whether or not it is a good idea. Take Leslie Headland, the showrunner of The Acolyte. Why am I showing this particular image on screen? No reason, none whatsoever. She has made nothing but dramas and has no experience with anything outside of that. She has never worked on a sci-fi project or a fantasy project in her entire career. She has no qualifications for this job, except for being the personal assistant to Meryl Streep's God.
My agent, Kevin Uvain, and God, Harvey Weinstein.
That one didn't age quite so well.
I couldn't resist and I regret nothing. But switching over to the main impetus for this video, the Rings of Power got renewed, ladies and gentlemen.
It's a bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see if it pays off for them.
And I'm not really that sad, merely disappointed. Amazon being a company that has made a lot of money over the years, you would think that they would be capable of making good decisions in regards to flops and the like, but if you thought that, then you would be fucking wrong. Instead of canning the showrunners of this shit show, they renewed and they extended Dumb and Dumber's contract for the next 3 years. Each episode in the first season cost, now this is guesstimated due to the numbers I was able to find on Google being somewhat contradictory, but on the low end, $58 million, and on the high end, $89 million. Let that sink in. Okay, so the first episode was viewed by 25 million people worldwide over 48 hours, according to Amazon. But of course, just what constitutes a view according to Amazon is left up for speculation. Is that title to credits, or is that pulled it up for 5 seconds, saw the god-awful quality, and dipped out to watch House of the Dragon instead? Season 2 of We Was Rangs and Shit is going to be bigger and better, according to Patrick McKay, so more bad CGI and self-aggrandizing god-awful dialogue. Got it. But he is correct on the bigger part of that statement in regards to the budget, as the production had to be moved midway through filming from New Zealand to the British Isles so that they could work through the strike, meaning that they had to recreate all of the sets and pay for the movement of all the cast and crew to the new locations, thusly ballooning the budget even further.
That's gotta hurt.
But Amazon is not the only company hiring brainlets to head up productions of new shows. Dan and Dave, the fine gentlemen who did Game of Thrones. You remember Game of Thrones, chat, right? It was that show that ended worse than JFK's presidency that every bad fantasy show since has ripped off without understanding what made the first seasons good to begin with, and only copying the worst tendencies of the latter-day episodes. Netflix has hired Dan and Dave to head up the Three Body Problem, a TV show that, from what I have been able to find, is following the source material about as much as your average modern adaptation from Netflix. That is to say, they took the name of the franchise and gutted it to go off and do their own thing. I would love to be proven wrong here, but from what I have read, this one looks like it's gonna suck harder than our VP, because the creatives involved would rather do their own shit than adapting the source material. Meaning this show is not gonna have a whole lot of enthusiasm from the main fan base. No fan enthusiasm, no normie enthusiasm. No normie enthusiasm, no show. And all of this could have been avoided if these companies would have made the simple common sense move of canning products that failed to deliver and not hiring back the creatives that delivered them. But instead, they will continue to push these projects forward because of nepotism or ideological alignment. And sooner rather than later, these streaming services will learn the dangers of quantity over quality and betting on losing horses. Tell me what you think down below. This has been Pete, the Radical Nerd, signing off.